Who is the lover? Allah. Who is Ar-Rahman?
If you see the international media, whether it be the international newspapers, the broadcast channels, on the internet, in the magazines, there is virulent propaganda regarding Islam. We find that the international media is bombarding misconception of Islam, and it is calling Islam as a religion, unfortunately, of terrorism, a religion of violence, because they are afraid of the spread of this religion of peace. And we find the media commonly blaming and saying, oh, Muslims, they're extremists, they are fundamentalists. What is the meaning of the word fundamentalist? A fundamentalist by definition means a person who follows the fundamentals of one particular subject. For example, and if a person wants to be a fundamentalist in a particular field, he should know, follow and practice the fundamentals of that subject. For example, if someone wants to be a good mathematician, he should know, follow and practice the fundamentals of maths. Unless he is a fundamentalist in the field of maths, he cannot be a good mathematician. For a person to be a good scientist, he should know, follow and practice the fundamentals of science. Unless he is a fundamentalist in the field of science, he cannot be a good scientist. You can't paint all fundamentalists with the same brush, that all are good or all are bad. Depending in which subject, in which field is a person a fundamentalist, you have to label him accordingly. If you have a fundamentalist robber whose profession is to rob and steal, he is bad for the society. If you have a fundamentalist doctor whose profession is to save thousands of human lives, he is good for society. So depending on which field is a person a fundamentalist, you have to label him accordingly. You can't paint all with the same brush. As far as I am concerned, I am a fundamentalist Muslim, and I am proud to be a fundamentalist Muslim, because I know, follow and I strive to practice the fundamentals of Islam. And I know that there is not a single teaching of Islam which is against humanity as a whole. There may be certain teachings of Islam who the non-Muslims or the media may blame because they may not know the context or the logic behind the teaching. I challenge anyone to point out a single fundamental teaching of Islam from the Quran or from the Sahih Hadith which is against humanity as a whole. And if you read the Webster's dictionary regarding the meaning of the word fundamentalism, it says that fundamentalism was a movement that started in the early part of the 20th century in America by the Protestant Christians. And they protested against the church, and they said, not only is the message of the Bible from God, every word, every letter of the Bible is from God. If someone can prove that every word, every letter from the Bible is from God, it's a good movement. But if someone can prove that every word, every letter of the Bible is not from God, it's not a good movement. When we read the Oxford Dictionary, it says, the definition of the word fundamentalist, it says that fundamentalist is a person who strictly adheres to the ancient teachings of any scripture, of any religion. But now when you read the latest revised edition of Oxford Dictionary, there is a slight change. It says that fundamentalist is a person who strictly adheres to the ancient teachings of any scripture, of any religion, especially Islam. So the word especially Islam has been added. The moment you hear the word fundamentalist, you start thinking of a Muslim. And we Muslims go on the defense. No, I'm not a fundamentalist. I'm not an extremist. I tell, I am an extremist. I'm extremely kind, I'm extremely loving, I'm extremely just, I'm extremely honest. Quran says, you have to be extremely kind, extremely loving, extremely honest. You cannot say I'll be partly honest. When it benefits me, I'm honest. When it does not benefit me, I'm not honest. And can someone tell me what is wrong in being extremely kind, extremely honest, extremely loving, extremely just? we should be extremists in the right direction, not in the wrong direction.